The missing piece behind wealth manifestation. Let me ask you something that many people feel, but struggle to explain. Have you ever felt like you understand the idea of wealth manifestation? You've read about it, you've tried the techniques, you've applied what you learned, and yet, something still seems to be missing. Not completely broken, just incomplete. Like you're following the process, but not getting the full result. If that sounds familiar, there's a reason for it. And it has less to do with effort, and more to do with something most people never fully address: the promise of wealth manifestation. The concept of manifestation often comes with a simple message. Focus on what you want, visualize it clearly, feel as if you already have it. The idea is that your internal state influences your external results, and to some extent that makes sense. Your mindset affects your behavior affects your decisions, and your decisions shape your outcomes. But here's where many people start to notice a gap. They apply these techniques consistently, but their financial reality doesn't change in a meaningful way. And that leads to an important question. What's missing? The surface level approach. Most people use most manifestation techniques focus on conscious effort, thinking differently, visualizing outcomes, repeating affirmations. These methods work on the surface level of the mind, and they can create short-term shifts in mood and motivation. But they don't always reach the deeper layer that influences behavior over time. That deeper layer is the subconscious mind. The subconscious blueprint for wealth. Your subconscious mind holds what you could call a financial blueprint. This blueprint is built over years of experience. What you saw growing up, what you heard about money, what you experienced personally. If you grew up in an environment where money was associated with stress, your mind may connect wealth with pressure. If you saw people struggle financially, your mind may expect struggle as part of reality. These patterns don't feel like beliefs. They feel like facts, and they quietly shape how you think, decide, and act. Why this becomes the missing piece. This is where many people get stuck. They try to manifest wealth at the conscious level, while their subconscious is still operating with patterns that expect limitation. That creates a disconnect. Consciously, you're moving toward abundance. Subconsciously, you may still be expecting difficulty. And when those two systems are not aligned, progress slows down. The behavior link. Most people overlook. Manifestation is often described in abstract terms, but at a practical level, results come from behavior. The decisions you make, the risks you take, the opportunities you act on. And your behavior is heavily influenced by your subconscious patterns. For example, if you subconsciously believe money is hard to manage, you may avoid financial responsibility. If you associate wealth with stress, you may resist opportunities that increase income, but also increase responsibility. If you doubt your ability to succeed, you may hesitate at critical moments. These behaviors don't feel like resistance. They feel normal, but over time they shape your results. Why effort alone doesn't fix it. This is why working harder doesn't always lead to better outcomes. You can increase effort. You can stay disciplined. You can push yourself. But if your internal blueprint is still misaligned, your actions may remain inconsistent. It's like trying to move forward while something is quietly pulling you back. And that creates the feeling many people describe. I'm trying, but something isn't clicking. The role of internal alignment. A more complete way to understand wealth manifestation is through alignment. Alignment means your thoughts, emotions, and subconscious beliefs are all moving in the same direction. When that happens, decisions feel clearer, action feels more natural, opportunities become easier to recognize, and progress becomes more consistent. But when alignment is missing, effort feels heavier, because part of your system is working against you. What happens? when the missing piece is addressed. When people begin examining and shifting their subconscious patterns, something interesting happens. Their perception changes. They begin to see opportunities they previously ignored. They feel more comfortable taking action. They experience less hesitation. And over time, their behavior begins to match their goals. This doesn't create instant results, but it does create momentum, and momentum leads to progress. The difference between knowing and changing. Many people understand these ideas intellectually. They know mindset matters. They know beliefs influence behavior, but understanding something is not the same as changing it. Change requires awareness, repetition, and time. It requires working with the patterns that already exist, not just replacing them with new ideas. The first step, most people skip. The first step toward finding the missing piece is awareness. Not trying to fix everything immediately, but simply observing. What do I believe about money? What do I expect when I think about financial growth? What feels realistic to me? And what feels out of reach? These questions reveal the internal framework you're operating from. And once you see that framework clearly, you can begin to shift it. A more realistic approach to wealth manifestation. Instead of focusing only on attracting wealth, it can be more useful to focus on removing internal resistance. Because when resistance decreases, your behavior naturally becomes more aligned with your goals. And when behavior aligns, results tend to follow. This approach is less about forcing outcomes and more about creating the conditions that allow progress to happen. Final thoughts. If wealth manifestation has felt incomplete or inconsistent, it doesn't mean you're doing everything wrong. It may simply mean you've been working on the surface without addressing what's underneath. The subconscious mind plays a major role in shaping your behavior, decisions, and long-term outcomes. And understanding that role can change how you approach personal growth. On this channel, we explore these deeper mechanisms, how subconscious beliefs influence manifestation, success, and financial progress. If this topic resonates with you and you want to continue learning, make sure to subscribe. In future videos, we'll explore how these patterns develop and why certain approaches seem to create faster internal shifts than others. And if you're curious about the framework that focuses specifically on identifying and addressing the subconscious beliefs that often slow down wealth manifestation, you can review the resources linked in the description and the pinned comment below. They connect directly to what we discussed today and offer additional material for those who want to explore the topic further. Take your time, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next video.